Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Sistory Healinghood reactions, where we're here to do reaction videos. And if you guys don't know, Lord, if you guys don't know, I'm the host, ChimarraAli. So I'm gonna just get started with Happy Black History Month. You know, I'm out here representing. We out here representing. Okay, if you don't know, you better ask somebody, because you should know. But it's Aaliyah, of course. Before we get into the reactions, just know that I've only seen none of these. Okay. The last one I personally picked, but I didn't watch it. So the rest of these people have sent me them. So bear with me for real. Like for real. Okay. And you already know what to do. Make sure that you please like, subscribe if you like what you see here. And thank you to all my new subscribers. I appreciate your support. And let's get started.
When a man no longer wants you, he doesn't always walk away. Sometimes he becomes mean. He gets colder, sharper, less patient. Not because you changed, but because he's trying to disconnect without taking responsibility for leaving. A woman, on the other hand, usually becomes calmer. She starts observing instead of arguing, pulling her energy back, preparing herself emotionally. And a weak man won't just say, "I don't want this anymore." He'll create discomfort, disrespect, distance. He pushes boundaries until you leave, so he doesn't have to carry the weight of ending it. That behavior isn't confusion, it's avoidance. So when someone becomes unkind instead of honest, listen. That's your cue to leave with your dignity intact.
Woo! Somewhat, you know what I'm saying? I really want to know what the men think out there about that. On my last live stream that I did on the I Snuck In Here podcast, there was a young lady on there named Drea. And she was telling me that how women like emotionally check out in a relationship before men do. And we hold on to that. So when we done, we done. And it just reminded me of that R. Kelly song. Oh, man. Black history. Anyway, when a woman's fed up, there ain't nothing you can do. Whatever, you know. I'm just saying. There might be something to there, but we really don't know. And as a woman, I just feel like, why guess when you can just ask a man? So please leave a comment down below to just, add some insight to that. Next.
Women, you cannot wash men off the same way that they wash us off. We are penetrated. They are penetrating. It is a complete difference. And I'm trying to tell you.
I'm sorry, y'all. First of all, like, why is she screaming? And second of all, I don't agree with that. I'll tell you why I don't agree with that. Because you're saying that men can just wash us off. Men can't just wash us off. You can't wash off DNA, sweetheart. That stuff is embedded into your skin. It's embedded into your cells. It's your structure. So men can't just wash us off, girl. They think it's that easy. But she be just hella aggressive sometimes. But she be acting like she a girl's girl, but
if you want a certain type of partnership, do not disqualify yourself from a high-earning, high-value, masculine man because you couldn't be disciplined, because you allowed these men to tell you a story, because a man will tell you, "I love you so much. I want to marry you. We're going to be together." It's been 2 months. He doesn't love you. Make him earn it. Why is the most valuable thing that you have so easy to get? So easy to access. Anybody can get it. First night, you don't even know this man's last name. And I'm not going to say what you do is wrong. It's not wrong. It just disqualifies you.
Woo! 2 months though? 2 months? Can someone please put in the comments, is 2 months a little bit too soon? Like 2 months? I think men need a little bit more time than 2 months. Like, I'm just saying, like, I think they need a little bit more time than 2 months. All my male friends, they be like a year, you know what I'm saying? They be trying to do the 1 year thing. I feel like all women have a timeline. If you check with them, they have a timeline. And I mean, women stick to that timeline if they're disciplined. If they're not, you know what I'm saying, they will let, you know, a man waste their time. But I just feel like it's not necessarily a feminine trait. It's just a human trait, because men will do the same thing too. Next.
3, 2, 1, action.
Oh, hell no. Run that back. I need to see it again.
3, 2, 1, action.
Oh, damn, y'all, that white bitch can fight. That girl can fight. But let's be real. In real life, she out of there. She out of there. A 10-year-old boy can handle her. Next.
I even tell young people, I said, you don't have to be married to be together. Marriage is just a piece of paper that make you hard to get out of this shit.
Right. Not the government in your shit.
Huh?
Not the government in your shit.
Yeah, not the government in your shit. And if you get some money.
I can't believe she just said that shit. Let me run that back. Can we run this back? I can't believe the goofy ass shit that I just heard.
I even tell young people, I said, you don't have to be married to be together. Marriage is just a piece of paper that...
No, duh, you don't have to be married to be together. It's bigger than that. Marriage is not, I hate when people be like, marriage is just a piece of paper. Marriage is a contract. And one thing I do know is something about some contracts. All right? People need to learn how to uphold their end of the deal. And it's in writing. And it's verified. And yes, who else is going to make sure that that can be enforced? Other than the courts, other than the laws. So of course you're going to have the government, the law in your shit. But I mean, you have the government, the law in your tax return. You have them in your pay stubs. You have them in when you get a house, when you have your social security card. So don't act like all of a sudden, oh, we getting married and now the government's going to dictate our relationship. Nah, because if that's the truth, then the government will be making women get paternity tests when they have that baby. Okay?
Make you hard to get out of this shit.
Right. Not the government in your shit.
Huh?
Not the government in your shit.
Yeah, not the government in your shit. And if you get some money, you got to split. So you just, you know, people are like, y'all, you sleep in a separate bedroom. At first, it was kind of hard. It was, because I had been
Whose
sleeping.
idea was it?
It was mine. Let me tell you, my husband snored really loud. And
You do too?
I
He just ain't on this show to tell us that you have been snoring too. I can hear it in that room.
Hey, that's why she got her own room. That was my decision. Hey, I built the wall.
You know, he don't want no heat. I like to sleep. My titties need their own pillow. This nigga don't want to give my pillow. My titties
Man, I
no pillow.
laugh every time I walk in there. Them damn titties is laid over on their own.
She got a pillow and the titty got a pillow.
Nigga, these are
Each titty got
48.
their own pillow. One right here, one right here.
And that's how I be living.
She got them set up like a DJ booth.
Black. All right, black. Okay. Black History Month, right? But I always think it's fascinating how black people always like start with something super serious, super dense. I'm talking with my mouth full. But they start talking about something super serious and super dense, and then they always end up like having this comic relief, you know, so it kind of like lightens the whole conversation. But she just proved to herself and everybody else why she's unaccountable and why we shouldn't even be listening and value in her opinion as a woman of like, you know, high moral versus, you know, just somebody who just gonna come on a podcast and say whatever. But let's knock it off. So next. Bring that back real quick. Bring that back, because I had to cut the music because I know they're gonna talk about some. There's copywriting on the music. You're gonna be listening to the music. When you think you out there selling real estate, but really you out there selling virtual cat. And look at him. He love that job, y'all. He love that. He love that. He saw that. He love that. He got that down pat. He love that, y'all. Hey, more power to you, brother. More power to you, all right? Just don't bring it over this way. Okay? Next.
We've been bamboozled.
Next video.
We've been tricked. We've been fooled. We've been hoodwinked. This is a Malcolm X quote. Look, race is not a biological thing. It's an economic thing. It was an economic creation. I'm happy to break that down. But I think that comes as a shock to most people. Most people are so locked into a racial conversation. They can't see straight.
Right.
Whether you're black and defending it, or you're white and promoting it, or whatever.
I just feel like it's because race is one of those hardwired things that we've all been hardwired to ride or die for. We are hardwired to ride and die for our race. And if we don't do that, we are like held to high treason for our race then. And nobody wants to be cast out, because in older societies, you know, being part of the tribe was important. And now that we don't really need a tribe to validate our importance to survive, people can't see past that. It's just hardwired in our DNA now. So I definitely understand what he's saying. But what do y'all think about what he's saying? Especially you black men. What do you think about what he's saying right now? Leave a comment below.
And by the way, it's not just white and black. It's Asian. It's Indian. It's Latin.
It's a global issue.
It's global. I mean, light complected people in Japan run Japan. The darker Japanese, yes, they exist, are in the prefectures. They're out in the rural areas. If you go through airports in Asia, there are skin lightening billboards that are full, and they're not shy about it. It's accepted.
What was the point there? What was the point? Was there something that wasn't running back?
We've been bamboozled. We've been tricked. We've been fooled. We've been hoodwinked. This is a Malcolm X quote. Look, race is not a biological thing. It's an economic thing. It was an economic creation. I'm happy to break that down. But I think that comes as a shock to most people. Most people are so locked into a racial conversation. They can't see straight.
Right.
Whether you're black and defending it, or you're white and promoting it, or whatever. And by the way, it's not just white and black. It's Asian. It's Indian. It's Latin.
It's a global issue.
It's global. I mean, light complected people in Japan run Japan. The darker Japanese, yes, they exist, are in the prefectures. They're out in the rural areas. If you go through airports in Asia, there are skin lightening billboards that are full, and they're not shy about it. It's accepted.
I understand what he's saying. Yeah. I mean, America, we just put a magnifying glass on our differences in racism, but it's also what makes us very unique. And as a Black American, I accept the racism, because without accepting the responsibility that we are the ones that got to deal with the racism, that's like trying to undo all the work that we had to put in to deal with racism. And I ain't giving that up. I ain't giving that up, y'all. I know y'all see me over here maxing this food. It's delicioso. It's delicioso. Sorry. Okay. This is that last video that I was talking about. This is just for y'all. Black History Month. You better learn. I hope y'all learned something already today. But if you haven't, you definitely about to learn something right now. This bitch is Margaret Thatcher.
You've probably heard the name Margaret Sanger, right? The so-called champion of birth control and founder of...
I said Margaret Thatcher. Wrong bitch. Wrong bitch. Margaret Sanger. Planned Parenthood. Just in case y'all don't know. Eugenics, bitch. Eugenics, bitch. Okay. I know who I'm talking about just because I had the last name wrong. At least I had the first name right. So I get a little like credit for that. Like, and I didn't learn that in no American school. I had to go do my own research. Okay, back to
Planned Parenthood. But what if I told you she also had deep ties to eugenics and believed in controlling the Black population? Yeah, let's talk about the truth they don't teach you about Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger was a birth control activist and a nurse who founded Planned Parenthood in 1916. She pushed for women's reproductive rights and helped create the modern birth control movement. But here's where it gets messy. She was also a believer in eugenics, the racist idea that some people are unfit to reproduce. Now let's be real. Margaret Sanger wasn't just about women's rights. She was deeply involved in the eugenics movement, which aimed to control the population of undesirable groups, Black people. In her own words, she talked about the need to weed out the unfit and prevent certain groups from having children. And then there's the Negro Project, one of the biggest red flags in her legacy.
Yeah, the audacity of this woman. How's she gonna sit there and say, these people are unfit to reproduce. These people are unfit to have children. We don't need to have children, but y'all needed Black women to help you birth children, to be your midwives, to bring your next generation into the world. Then after we birthed your child for you, helped aid the birth of your child, we wet nursed your children. Okay, that's Black bosom. That's Black bosom blood. That's Black bosom milk and colostrum. Okay? We gotta put some respect on her name, and she gonna talk about some we undesirable. Well, it looks like nature has selected individuals, and also nature has selected individuals to rise above that and help those who were the weaker ones. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like everybody was weak at that time, but I mean, I'm just saying the mindset, y'all, the mindset. But tell me what you think.
In 1939, Sanger launched a campaign to promote birth control in, guess what? Black communities. On the surface, it sounded like she wanted to help, but in reality, it was about population control. She even wrote in a letter that they needed to use Black doctors and Black ministers to convince people to accept birth control. Here's a letter she wrote to Clarence Gamble of Procter & Gamble. We should hire 3 or 4 colored ministers, preferably with social services backgrounds and with engaging personalities. The most successful educational approach to the Negro is through a religious appeal. We don't want the word to get out that we want to exterminate the Negro population. And the minister is the man who can straighten out the idea.
Hold on. I just need to get a good look at this document. Okay.
If it ever occurs to any of their more rebellious members, let that sink in. Her own words. Now, fast forward today, and Planned Parenthood is still controversial in Black communities. 79% of Planned Parenthood clinics are located in Black neighborhoods. Black women make up 38% of all abortions, even though we're only 13% of the population. Some activists argue that this is a continuation of eugenics and population control. But here's the truth, y'all. We deserve both reproductive freedom, but we also have the right to ask hard questions about the system. So, Was Margaret Sanger a women's rights hero or a racist eugenics? That's why knowing our history is critical. We can support reproductive rights while we still question the racist roots of the system. What do you think? Now, if you don't think they're sitting around plotting about you, guess what? They are. While they're celebrating her for women's rights, she was really for Black death. Drop a thumbs up in the comments if you learned something new and tag somebody who needs to know the truth that they don't teach you in schools.
There you go, Constance. She be putting down the truth. Make sure y'all go check out her IG, because she be putting down the truth for the Black history. So there's that video for y'all. I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys got some value out of it. And leave a comment, like, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Happy Black History. Check me out in the next video. Bye.